I'm Mike Marsh, and this is True. Today's article, Mincing Words. It's small, it's sweet, and it comes in a dispenser with a whimsical character head at the top. It's not My Little Pony compressed arsenic tablets. Those have more of a garlicky flavor. No, it's Pez, the compressed sugar tablets. These small bricks are perhaps the most popular and recognizable candies in the world, if you don't count any sort of chocolate. Pez was invented in 1927 by Austrian foodventor Eduard Haas III, known to his friends as Triple H. He would mix large batches of minty sugar syrup in his bathtub and leave it to dry in specially designed trays in his yard. These trays naturally separated the drying mixture into small tablets, much like the ones with which we are familiar today. Now, modern techniques have sped this process greatly by using extremely high pressure to compress the sugar mixture. These pressures are so high that every Pez candy contains millions of microscopic diamonds. This is why many gastroenterologists recommend that their patients eat Pez candies to abrade away any polyps that might be forming between colonoscopies. Triple H named his confection Pez after celebrity monks Bernhard and Hieronymus Pez, who were born in the mid-1680s in nearby Melk. Both were renowned historians and librarians, Hieronymus taking over as head librarian of Melk Abbey after his older brother's death in 1735. Triple H spent many hours in the library of Melk Abbey's extensive confectionery collection, particularly several rare Catharist cookbooks which were suppressed in most of the domain of the Western Church. Bernhard Pez had spared these books from the flames by replacing their dust jackets with those of less controversial works such as the Malleus Maleficarum. The recipe for the Pez candies was based on a recipe for Manichaean mints from the 1318 book Bonum Dulce pro Bonis Christianis, which promised to satisfy all of your demiurges. In honor of the Pez brothers, the shape of the Pez candies hearkened to the communion wafers that were in common use in Austria at the time, since both brothers were conceived around the Christian observance of Fronleichnam, which celebrates the transubstantiation believed to occur in the Eucharist. What was so special to the brothers Pez's parents about this particular festival has been the subject of speculation, with Albrecht Albernmann proposing the theory in his 1835 book, 100 Austrian Heresies, number 73 will shock you, that they were members of a heresy that believed that the Eucharist makes the receiver one in body with the Holy Trinity, and therefore one in body with others taking the Eucharist at the same time. Since no other mention of this particular heresy has yet been found, most scholars favor a competing theory that Albrecht Albernmann was a bit of a weirdo. The first Pez dispenser was introduced in 1947. Rather than the dispensers with which we are familiar today, these initial dispensers were shaped like lighters. While these were certainly more convenient than the clamshell tins previously used, they resulted in many accidentally burned noses and were replaced in either 1950 or 1951 by the first character dispenser. The design of this new dispenser was inspired by Fronleichnam, which combines the German words Fron, or front, and Leichnam, or body. The first character design featured the head of Adolf Hitler, depicted with a tiny arm and hand holding a pistol to his temple. Children loved playing with these dispensers, imagining that they were Hitler living out his final moments as the Allies closed in on his bunker. The Pez candies sold in these dispensers came to popularly be called Halsminzen, or throat mints. While Pez are no longer referred to this way, with or without dispenser, the sobriquet persists with the popular Hall's brand of throat lozenges. As Pez spread internationally, the variety of character dispensers exploded, with thousands of unique configurations. Pez dispensers can sell for as much as $13,000, in the case of the donkey-headed dispenser once owned by John F. Kennedy. Obviously, only Pez dispensers which are unique and have some historical or cultural significance are capable of fetching this high a price. Most Pez dispensers the modern consumer is likely to find retail for around $2, though rare designs sell online for between $20 and $150. Vintage candies have sold for as much as 58 cents. Clearly, avid Pez collectors are willing to spend a great deal of time and money on their hobby. This is really no different than many hobbies, like model railroads, stamp collecting, or arson. Like these other hobbies, collectors also hold conventions. The largest of these, Pezomania, attracts several thousand Pez enthusiasts each year, and its famous parties are frequently extremely wild. In 2011, one party went so far off the rails that the next year's had to be cancelled. That only stoked the enthusiasm of the attendees of the 2013 party such that it turned into a real barn burner. There are even Pez museums around the world, including a small one at Melk Abbey that pays homage to the Abbey's role in the creation of Pez. Two separate museums, the Pez Museum in Austin, Texas, and Museo de Pez in Rosario, Argentina, both lay claim to being the world's largest. The disagreement stems over whether largest encompasses the total size of the collection or the number of unique dispensers and other Pez paraphernalia. This rivalry has at times led to open violence, such as in May of 1993 when an Argentine Pez enthusiast smashed the front window of the museum in Austin, which was followed in August by an American throwing a Molotov cocktail into the museum in Rosario. Fortunately, quick-acting docents were able to extinguish the fire with only slight singeing of a Fred Flintstone dispenser. To this day, the dispute between these two museums has been the primary fuel of tensions between Argentina and the United States. Pez-related violence is relatively rare. Most Pez enthusiasts, or even casual Pez consumers, enjoy this candy as a quick treat that's fun to eat. Unlike the gummy community, they rarely commit crimes against humanity. So let's all take a minute, every week or so, to thank Triple H for nearly 100 years of Pez. This has been True. Find us online at www.truecast.com. References for this episode are in the show notes. If you enjoy the podcast, please rate and review it wherever you listen, or just tell a friend. Our theme song is Bouncy by Sean McMullen from his album Everything. You can find more of his music online at www.sofadogstudio.com.